What's going on, everybody? BrickBuilder here, and welcome back to some Hypixel Sky Wars. And today we're going to be talking about clickbait. So, very good topic, but if you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about clickbait, and I'm going to be discussing my views on it, being a content creator, as well as a frequent viewer of YouTubers. So to kick things off, I'm not really sure where I stand on clickbait 100%. Like, I'm definitely not one of those, like, I'm against it all the way, or I'm full for it all the way. I'm really kind of in between, and for pretty good reasons, I would say. At least I justify my reasons as being okay, but I mean, it's all relative, you know. Me being a content creator on YouTube, clickbait definitely does have its perks. I have never really done what I would call clickbait, because clickbait, as what most people refer to clickbait as, clickbait is generally referred as a misleading title. But you're false in saying that that's what clickbait is. Because clickbait has been used in the media for generations. For like tens of hundreds of years. Well, not tens of hundreds. But for probably like over 10 years. That's going to be a little bit unrealistic. Being as that tens of hundreds of years, we didn't even have media back then. But basically clickbait is simply just the use of more effective wordings to drive traffic and attractiveness to your overall article or your like art piece, which in YouTube's case would be videos, but it's all relative to wherever you go. Personally, I don't view clickbait as anything bad as long as it's not misleading. You know, if it has a good attractive title but it's related to the video, I'm completely okay with that title being there, and for good reasons, because the more views that something gets, it is honestly the more views the better in my opinion on stuff. Because it helps get the content creator paid, which they do earn. However much money they make, they deserve however much they make. That's how it works. So they should get paid what they earn, and that sort of thing. And yes, if clickbait does help them earn more, that's an option for them to take. They don't have to, and by they I'm talking about like any YouTuber who does use clickbait or considering using clickbait. But clickbait is overall perceived in this very negative connotation, and honestly, I still don't get why it is. Because honestly, clickbait has helped find so many videos on YouTube, honestly, for me. Whether or not you argue that that's a dumb claim or not, it's really true. Because how many videos have you clicked on that have a really bad title that, like, nobody would ever watch? For instance, like, my title here has basic formatting, it tells you what the video is about, it's not clickbait. But I could very well clickbait it, and it, would look better than if I was just like, clickbait, Minecraft, with everything miscapitalized and all that sort of thing. Overall, I just think that using, like, more effective wording just makes sense also, because I definitely think it does help attract the viewers and stuff. But yes, if it is misleading, if your title has nothing to do with the video, if it is misleading, I will absolutely hate you, because that's not what clickbait does, and you're part of the reason that clickbait gets such a bad rep on YouTube. If you're going to make a title, it should actually relate to your video somehow. Generally go for something that you said in the video, or something along those lines. Strive to make a title that somehow relates to your video, but is still attractive, that's clickable, that has a chance to grow, that people do want to actually see. Because that's pretty important when making a video. You want to get the most amount of eyes you can on your video. That's just kind of common sense, I would say, as far as, when you put work into something, you want people to see it. When you make a piece of artwork, you want as many people to see it. YouTube and videos are a form of art, so that's a thing right there. And basically, so I'm honestly not opposed to clickbait. Now, I myself haven't really done it, and I don't really ever plan to, like, resort to, I don't know, clickbait to, like, the extremes, I guess you could say. But if, the time arises where it makes the most sense for me to make my title very attractive looking and really, strive to get the most amount of eyes on that video, because, like, I don't know, it's some very important thing for some charity I feel strongly about, or something along those lines, then I absolutely will make the title look attractive for it, because that's worth doing. And the charity thing was just an example. Honestly, any video I think that deserves the recognition will get a nice, attractive looking title. And I hope you guys do the same with your videos if you make content. And hopefully, if you do clickbait, you clickbait in a way that's in a positive connotation rather than a negative one. Because clickbait's not a bad thing if done properly. It makes a lot of sense. Media groups do it, and they do it well. Because media groups have had time to flourish on it and don't get such a bad rep for just simply having better wordings in their titles, If you're not, clickbait means the title's not too long, it's not too boring, it's an engaging title. Maybe it has a question somebody wants answered, it tells you, it basically, tells you why you should watch the video. But as I said before, if the title is misleading, that's a problem. There's a difference between having a clickbait, nice looking title, and then having a title that's just completely, like, delusional, I would say, that doesn't relate to your video at all in an attempt just to get views. That's completely different, and that's where I draw the line. If your clickbait has nothing to do with the video, then you shouldn't have used it, period. That's basically the way that works. If you're going to use it, it better relate somehow, and if it doesn't, that's a problem, and you need to fix it, because that's going to bug anybody who watches your video, and people are going to come there thinking that it's, you know, what you claim it was, and it's nothing like that. That's a problem, and not how content should be made on YouTube. You know, that's definitely a thing. But I'm going to get the kill on this guy right here. Give me his pants. Yes, but definitely just be careful with your clickbait, because overdoing it could be a bad thing, you know? And yes, bigger YouTubers do it. It makes a little bit of sense for them, you know, being as this is their business, you know? It makes sense to have titles that are worth clicking on. But nobody ever gives the media, nobody ever says anything in the media. When the media clickbaits, it's completely fine for them, right? But the second that YouTubers who basically have media jobs, I mean, except that, you know, they do all of it themselves, they find their stuff, they entertain, they persuade, etc. Except for them, since they're not some giant media group who owns like a TV network, it's not okay for them. That doesn't seem right to me. I think overall anybody who makes content should be able to clickbait it if that's what they choose to do. And realistically, if your title's not attractive, well, I feel like you're doing something wrong, honestly, in my opinion. Like, that's something you should be able to do. You should be able to make your titles look decent. Look into the positive of clickbait. Don't look into the... Like, don't read an article of, like, you know, if you're gonna learn about it, at least learn from a reliable source that isn't, like, you know, basically bent on how to make something misleading. If you're gonna try to, you know, learn how to do it properly, you want to make something that's not misleading but still engaging. So you want to use, like, words that are trending, but words that still relate to what you're overall saying, because it's just kind of dumb if they don't relate at all. It's like, why the heck is that word even there then, sort of thing, in my opinion. But definitely just overall, if you're going to clickbait, make sure you do it properly. There is definitely bad clickbait, but I feel like there's just as much benefit to clickbait as there is, like, downsides to it. That's going to about do it for today's rant on clickbait. Let me know what you think down below and what your thoughts are on this. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Check out my Twitter and Discord, and I'll see you guys in another Hypixel Sky Wars video. Bye!